SMEs, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises really are critical for both the jobs agenda as well as the economic growth agenda as well. And in many ways, I believe that the pace of the post-COVID recovery will very much depend on the ability of firms to grow moving forward and pivot away from a very difficult time to a more prosperous future. So the big question now is, how do you achieve this? How do you get firms to grow, to create the economic growth and the job opportunities moving forward? And at the World Bank, we've actually conducted quite a bit of research on this particular topic. And essentially what we found are 5 key drivers. Number one, very important for countries to avoid size-dependent policies, for example, tax incentives. France, Japan have tried this and have found that it actually serves as a disincentive to grow, because firms only grow to a certain point and then stop growing. Second, having a strong enabling environment. Here, Georgia ranks 7th globally in the Doing Business Index, and we believe that has a very strong enabling environment. And then there are 3 critical factors that are so important to help them grow. One is access to markets, where I think Georgia is well positioned given the Free Trade Association and agreements that it has in place with Europe and in other countries as well. But there are 2 that I think our project addresses and that need to be built upon. One is access to finance, and 2 is access or better skills. And let me then pivot to the new project that you just spoke about. It's an $85 million support project for micro and small and medium-sized enterprises called the Georgia Relief and Recovery Project. And essentially this project has a short and a more medium-term focus. On the short term, we want to help small and medium-sized enterprises that are hurting from the pandemic.
To survive in the first place.
Absolutely. Not zombie firms, not those firms that would have maybe have gone bankrupt anyways, but those firms that are suffering through no fault of their own because of some of the lockdowns and the restrictions that were implemented. Here, we essentially have 3 components to provide this short-term relief to these firms. Number one, we have a grants program for micro enterprises. Number 2, we help with the co-financing of interest rate payments for smaller and medium-sized enterprises. And then number 3, we are working with the current partial credit guarantee scheme that exists here in Georgia, which we're also helping to improve and to strengthen to make sure that more medium and larger enterprises can benefit. And very importantly, something that I'm almost proudest of is technical assistance and advisory service that we will be providing to firms to help them not only COVID-proof, but also to digitize their operations, both addressing their ability to adopt e-commerce platforms to provide better service delivery to people during the pandemic, but also to strengthen them for the long term, to make them more competitive. Those are the short-term areas. Over the more medium and the long-term areas, Elena, we actually, and I'm very, very happy about this, are working with the National Bank of Georgia to strengthen the instant payment systems. We're also modernizing the secure transaction and collateral registry framework. And then finally, we're also working with the Ministry of Justice and Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development with respect to digital verification identity, or eKYC, which is critical for types of transactions over, again, the long term. So all of this taken together, the short and the medium term solutions are going to have a major impact on businesses here in Georgia moving forward. And I would very much like to thank Enterprise Georgia that's going to be implementing the grants and the co-financing program. And all companies or enterprises that are interested in applying, as you had asked, should direct their attention towards Enterprise Georgia.
So it's open for everybody?
It is open, and the criteria are very clearly spelled out. And as you see, you have different modalities for different firm sizes. I would encourage all firms to go to the website, and I think you'll find all the information.